All right, so let's turn to the technology. This is often the part of the presentation we get the most questions on. So I really encourage you to participate with questions if you've got them. The SOS technology stack is built around 4 key concepts. It helps you protect your data, access your data, share your data, and manage your data. What do I mean by each of these things? Well, protect is about hardcore backup and recovery, which is what most of our competitors do. Most of our competitors don't have the access, share, or manage. Access is about real-time, immediate access to all of your data. So I can pull out my iPhone right now, I can search it for, say, the word Ken, and it's going to pull up every document I've got on all my PCs and every single version of those documents for the last 5 years, which is pretty powerful technology. And there's no other technology platform that lets you do that. I can share my documents out to business colleagues or, if I'm a home user, friends via things like Facebook, and manage. Manage is about being able to control, if I'm, say, a system administrator or a reseller, how do I control 500 different PCs and devices that are all backing up to the cloud? Well, I do that through the Enterprise Management Console, which we've got, which is called Pulse. So just looking at some of the key features of the core product, I'd really encourage you to check out the features section of our website for detailed information about this, but I'll talk about some of what I consider to be the highlights of the technology. I'll start with continuous data protection. So most backup vendors will sell you a CDP module which will watch files and folders and back them up immediately upon change, but they'll usually charge you for that, whereas SOS has actually got CDP built right into the product. So you can have SOS watch any file, and as soon as it changes, they'll back it up to the cloud. None of our competitors have that. They claim, quote, continuous, unquote, backup, but it's not at all. What they do is they're actually just triggering a scheduled backup every 5 minutes, which is extremely resource intensive and a very poor way of doing CDP, whereas what SOS will actually do is watch the individual files that you've told it to watch and just back those up whenever they change in real time. Unlimited computers to the right. What our competitors do is they charge you per PC. So, for example, Mozy Pro, $395 a month per PC. So if you've got 100 PCs just with the software installed on it, that'll be $400 a month, $4,800 a year, without actually backing up any data. Whereas with SOS, we don't charge any license fees at all. We let you connect as many PCs to a given account as you like, which is extremely powerful. Not only does it lower your cost, but then when you combine that with our management technology, this is a really powerful feature of the system. Global roaming access, so get real-time access to all your data through a web browser. Access on iPhone. We've got a native iPhone client and a native iPad client, which will back up your iPhone, back up your iPad, but also let you recover, access, stream, and share your data straight to those devices. Free integrated local backup. So the software has built into it a full local backup engine, which lets you back up to local data destinations like USB hard disk drives or network destinations, so that you don't need to choose between local backup and offsite backup. With the technology, you can do both, and you should. There's a question here from Jim. Will you have this on Citrix for review later? And I'm interested in the numbers slide in particular. Will it be available for printing download? Jim, I don't know if we'll have it on Citrix. It'll be the webinar. There'll be a video of the webinar in our webinars archive, which will be on our website. So that'll be available to you. You'll all get an email with a link to the video of the presentation within 24 hours. Mike asked the question, can SOS back up NAS drives over my home network? Absolutely, Mike. In fact, Mike, you can do that using the local backup software I was just talking about. So going on, I can take questions about the security model and the compression and transfer systems, but just touching on some of these other features here, you can filter your backups to only back up the data you want it to back up or to exclude data that you don't want to be backed up. Physical media upload, you can send the data to us encrypted on a hard disk drive and we'll upload it for you. So if you have got a slow upload connection or you're concerned about flooding your upstream bandwidth for the initial baseline upload, we can seed the backup set for you. In terms of recovery, we've got a timeline-based recovery module. So it's calendar driven interface. You can see it on the screen here, and you can actually, there's two components to it. One's the search interface and one's the calendar interface. So basically, if you just select today, then the software is going to recover the data that matches your criteria as of today's date. But you can roll back to any given point in time. We've got some customers who've had data on the system since 2001 and can literally roll back their machine all the way back to what it looked like in 2001, which is an extremely powerful feature, particularly when you combine it with unlimited versioning. Just below that, we keep an unlimited version history of your files, and we do it for free. All of our competitors only keep 30 versions. Most of them, well, a lot of them keep 14. We keep an unlimited version history, and we do that at our cost, at no cost to you. So when you combine that with our recovery module, it's an extremely powerful system. It lets you go back in time to what your data looked like. Jim asks, please tell us about the security features. So there are two security models that we use. Our standard security model, which involves 512-bit AES encryption of files. AES is a standard promulgated by the US government for use, and really the best-in-class encryption method. We then transfer data over an encrypted tunnel to our data centers, and we re-encrypt before we store. So there's 3 layers of encryption used. And there's 2 types of security. The standard security, where we can unlock files for you if you happen to lose your password and your access credentials. And then there's a private key encryption system that allows you to specify an encryption key that we don't know and cannot know, and that therefore only you can ever recover your data. That's called our ultra-safe security model. And that's very important if you're selling into any industries that are regulated by data protection regulations like HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. I hope that answers your questions, Jim. And then lastly, unlimited archiving. One of the biggest gotchas in every other online backup platform is, well, I don't want to say every other, but every major online backup system. There may be others out there that do what we do, but what the vast majority of companies do is that if you're backing up a file on your PC and you're backing it up to the cloud, it's backing up every day, and you delete that file off the PC, they then go and delete that file from the cloud, because the position they take is that given that the data is now gone from the source PC, if they were to continue to back it up, that wouldn't be a backup, that would be an archive. And we look at that attitude as a ridiculous attitude to take in face of true user behavior. Because what we've found is that more than 60% of single file recoveries on our system are for files that were accidentally deleted. So deleting files from the cloud because they've been deleted from the source PC is extremely counterintuitive product design. There's an article on Computer World just the other day talking about how that's a major gotcha in the Mosey system. So what SOS does is we retain that file in the cloud, again, forever and at no charge to you, until you explicitly remove it from the cloud. So that the solution therefore doubles as an archiving system. It's not only a disaster recovery and backup solution, but also an archiving solution. A question from Patrick. You specifically refer to the iPhone. Will this be available for Android, WebOS, and Windows tablet platforms? Android, yes, we'll have that this year. WebOS and Windows tablet, no clear plans yet. BlackBerry is covered as well, though. So BlackBerry, Android, and iOS are our major mobile targets. Jim says, Ken, I sense you're passionate about this product. What do you personally use for your backup storage program at home? Sounds great. Is there a catch, hidden fees? Jim, I use SOS as you'd expect. I use it on, I've got 5 computers, and I've been using it for nearly 10 years. So it actually becomes more powerful the longer you use it on, the more devices you use it on, because what it lets you do is then from any given device, say my iPhone here, I can search and index and access the data that's been protected from every other computer and device in my life. And I really don't know of any other technology that lets you do that. So the more you use the technology, the more powerful it becomes, so to speak. As for hidden costs and fees, no, I hope you can gather from the tenor of the last few comments I've made that we really try and bundle as much in as we possibly can. So versioning doesn't cost you, archiving doesn't cost you, CDP doesn't cost you, local backup doesn't cost you. So it's pretty much what you see is what you get. Jim says, you sound like a programmer, are you? Yes, I am. I'm a software engineer, Jim. Okay. So let's talk about, oh, sorry, we've got some more questions coming in. Mike asks, can backed up files be downloaded outside your home from another internet connection? Absolutely, Mike. So that's the whole access concept that I'm talking about. I can literally recover my files on my iPhone. So sitting here with my iPhone, I can recover any of the files I've backed up from my apartment or any of my office computers, so that you've got global roaming access to all of your data in real time. And that's one of the, I think, one of the most powerful features of the technology. Matt asks, can you throttle bandwidth usage based on time of day? Not on time of day, Matt. You can generally throttle bandwidth usage, but it's then a universal rule rather than being a time of day rule. Having said that, I mean, if you've got concerns on that, your firewall would probably let you do that. You could set your bandwidth shaping rules on your internet gateway or your firewall for the IP in question. Matt also asks, block level data backup. Yes, Matt, we use a block level binary delta compression algorithm to extract the daily incremental backup.